Hey guys, I'm bored. So, it's been a while. Of course, I don't think anybody was really waiting for a new video, so, you know, it's fine. I don't really care. So, today I decided I was gonna do a little makeup tutorial, whatever, for a little, like, cute look for Valentine's Day. And I'm also gonna rant about all the awful experiences that I've had with guys. Because, let's be real, my love life has been absolutely awful recently. Do I have a date for Valentine's Day? No, I'm currently single. I'm probably still gonna do this look for Valentine's Day, you know, self-love and all. And you guys can too. We can all be single together. So, let's get started. So, if you can't already tell, I don't look like I'm drawing right now, which means I've pretty much done everything other than my eye makeup. And like some other little things, you know. So if you haven't already done your primer and your foundation and your contour, you should probably do that right now. I also already have my eyes primed, so yeah, go ahead, pause the video, come back here when you've done all that. Anyways, we're gonna start off this little thing by doing some blush. I'm using Maybelline Fit Me. Let's be real, I've had awful experiences with guys, okay guys? And you're probably wondering, Hannah, haven't you already had like 3 boyfriends? Yeah, that doesn't mean my life hasn't sucked though, so I mean, you know. So my first like awful experience with a guy, we're gonna call this guy, we're gonna call him Brad. Anyways, so back when I was in middle school, I had a crush on Brad. Okay, so now we're gonna do some highlighter. I'm just using Maybelline cute little rose gold. Anyways, so I had a crush on Brad, and I decided it would be a good idea for me to ask him out. Like a really good idea to ask him out, despite the fact that I wasn't really good friends with him or anything like that. In my case, I was stupid, dumb, had never asked out a guy before, and thought,
oh, you know, maybe it'll work out since I'm not friends with him.
Or something like that, because I was like afraid of the friend zone. I completely misunderstood it though, so I mean, you know. I'm
just acquaintances with him, but maybe he'll go out with me.
And there was like a Valentine's Day dance coming up, and I'm like,
ooh, this is like the perfect time to ask him out.
And my 2 closest friends at the time were like, yeah, you should do it. And so I ended up writing a little note, because you know, 7th graders are unable to walk up to somebody and ask them out. We all have to pass notes around to each other. So I wrote up a little note asking, like, you know, do you want to go out with me? Yes or no, whatever. And then I ended up losing the note. Now the plan was that I was going to have my friend, I was going to have her go and pass the note to him during her social studies class. I was going to have her pass the note just because, like, I was way too, like, anxious to do it myself, because I had issues with anxiety. I still have issues with anxiety. And so, like, I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna do it myself. You have to do it for me. And she was down for it. She was like, oh yeah, no, I'll do that for you. And plus if she passed him during this class, I wouldn't have to see him at all during the rest of the day, so he'd like have time to decide whatever. And I'm just like,
yeah, no, this would work out.
I don't know why I thought it would work out. I'm just like, so like the possibilities in my mind, like what I was thinking about would happen was either he was going to say yes, he was going to say no, and I knew that, like, you know, it was probably going to go around the school a little bit, because, like, you know, middle schoolers. I lost the note. And so I had my friend Erin rewrite the note, which I'm perfectly fine with what she wrote, but she didn't include like the little yes or no check boxes to make it like easy or whatever. She just basically told him I liked him and that I wanted to go out to dance with him, which, I mean, I'm fine with. That's like a normal note. But because it didn't have those little check boxes on there, he never told me whether or not he wanted to go out with me. And so I sat waiting for Brad to tell me whether or not we were going to the dance or not for like 3 days. And as the days went on, the anxiety built. Not to mention, during these 3 days, he was basically telling the entire 7th grade what had just happened. Because, like, you know, I didn't anticipate that. I just thought,
oh, he's probably just gonna tell a few of his friends, you know?
Anyways, so the next step we're gonna be doing here with this tutorial is we're going to be going into the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Yeah, I own expensive makeup now. What? Yeah, no, I literally just got this because I got a gift card to Sephora. I'm like, what's something I want? And like, these are some nice, like, these are some nice colors. And so I got it. So we're going to be going into the shade, I'm gonna probably mispronounce this, but, Bon Fresco. It's like this mauve shade. I like it. Anyways, we're gonna be going with this in the crease. So, he was telling like all his friends about this, and you know how 7th graders are. If there's any sort of little bit of drama going around, they're gonna be telling all their friends. Yeah, I'm just like over here like freaking out, because like literally, like the day I like asked him out, like they were like, everybody was talking about me, and I was just sort of like freaking out. And that is why I have paranoia issues to this day. It's because of this one single event and a few other events that happened later on with like certain friends of mine. But like, you know, I didn't have paranoia issues until this happened, and so it worsened my anxiety. And I feel like if this hadn't have happened, I feel like, I mean, I probably would have still had paranoia issues at some point or another, but I don't feel like they'd be as bad as they are now, especially when it comes to like admitting I have feelings for guys. And so ultimately, you know, he just sort of tells the entire school, not the entire school, but the entire 7th grade what happened. And everybody's talking about me, and I have people coming up to me like in the hallways that I like don't even know at all, being like,
oh, hey, are you the girl that asked out Brad?
and I'm like, yeah. And so like that just the anxiety of that. There were several times people asked me that, and I literally just walked away from them, and I was trying not to cry because I'm like, oh my gosh, I just made the biggest mistake of my life. Do I regret asking him out now? No, I definitely do not regret asking him out, but it's just like, you know, there are times where like I didn't have to go through all that trouble, and I should have just realized that middle schoolers are stupid and that they're going to tell everybody everything. Moral of the story, don't ask out people when you're in middle school, because the same thing's probably going to happen to you. So okay, so now I'm going into the shade Tempera, which is this like lighter shade, just to like help blend out the edges here a bit. Anyways, so that was my first really bad experience with a guy. Okay, so now we're gonna be going into this BH Cosmetics palette with like a bunch of nude colors in it, and we're going to be going in with this sort of like pinkish brown shade, and we're going to be using it to define our crease just a little bit more, not too much. Okay, so my next bad experience with a guy would have to be, this guy I started dating like 2nd semester of my freshman year in college. He wasn't like an awful guy for like the first 6 months of our relationship. Like honestly, like there was nothing wrong with anything that was going on. Like it was probably one of the best relationships that I'd been in. So like first 6 months, great. It wasn't until my sophomore year of college started that he started like mentally abusing me. Now I know that's gonna sound really extreme, but like it was like the beginning signs of it, like of him like mentally abusing me. And how I know this is because first off, the first thing that happened was he just started texting me like a bit, like more than like a bit excessively. Like he was like texting me like all throughout the day. Like he would text me at least like once an hour, which I'd say that'd be okay like if we were starting our relationship, but this was like 6 months in. Like at that point you're typically like really comfortable with each other. Plus you have to note that this was like a long distance relationship, so like I can sort of understand why he'd feel the need to text me that much. But at the same time, we saw each other every weekend, and like we would call every night. And so when he started like texting me and like calling me a bit obsessively, so I'm like, I can't really do this, but I'm gonna go along with it just because it's not that big of an issue right now. But I was like okay with it, and I didn't really know what was going on, like how this would like be bad. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into this hard candy palette here, and we're gonna be going into this like red shade, and we're gonna be defining our creases more. So that started happening. I'm like, okay, it's not like that bad. Well, then he started like demanding like more time from me from what I had been giving him. Sorry. He started demanding like more time than I like actually had to give him, like, out of my day. Because you have to remember, I'm in college. I'm doing a bunch of work. He is too. I don't even know how he had like the time to talk to me this many times in like a day. Because we had a really good system like before this started happening. Like, basically, I'd see him once during the weekend, so like typically Saturdays, sometimes Sundays if he had like other things to do. So I'm just like adjusting myself here because I'm realizing my light's like going wonky, and I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, so like I started like making more time for him, like for like calls and stuff. And like he's like,
we don't talk enough.
I'm like, I think we talk plenty, considering the fact we're in a long distance relationship here. Because the closest he ever was to me was like an hour away, and that's when we were both at school. Or like I was at home and he was at school. If he was home and I was either like home or at school, it'd be about a 4 or 5 hour drive for like either of us to see each other. So like, we tried to make the most of our time when we were at school to like see each other, which was like, once a week. And that's what we did for 6 months, is we'd call once a day, we'd text a few times during the day, and we'd see each other once on the weekends. That was all. I was fine with that. He was fine with it until this moment. And so he started like getting sort of upset about it. He's like,
I don't see you enough. I don't talk to you enough.
and I'm like, I think we see each other plenty, but if you have an issue with how often we're seeing each other, I guess I can try and give you some more time. Like, I'm gonna try to give you as much time as I can. So that's what I ended up doing. But then apparently the amount of time I was giving him, like the more time I was giving him, wasn't enough for him. And so then he was like,
you're not giving me enough time.
I'm like, I literally increased my time by like double to see you, because there were sometimes we see each other 2 times over the weekend, and he'd be calling me like twice a day, or like I'd be spending more time on FaceTime with him than like before. And he like started complaining more about all this. I'm like, I'm trying to give you as much time as I possibly can right now. And that's when he started getting like he started like verbally hurting me, like emotionally and mentally. Like, some of the things he said were like really hurtful. Like, he would say like,
you don't care about me, you don't love me.
That really hurt when he said that. I'm just like, I do. I wouldn't have been trying to make this much time for you if I didn't. But it wasn't getting through his head that I actually did care about him, and that I really wanted it to work out. And like, then he started verbally attacking my friends, not like to their face, but to me. He'd be like,
oh, you care about your friends more than you care about me.
Or
like, you spend more time with your friends than you do with me.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna spend a bit more time with them because they're here, you're not. Between like my friends in school, I give you as much time as I possibly can. So like, I'm sorry that it's not enough time for you, but this is as much as I can give you. But he kept like saying like I need to give more time to him, and that like he could end things with me whenever he wanted to, if he didn't feel like I was giving him enough. And like, at this point, like, I really liked him and stuff. Like, I didn't want anything to end. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and blend this out a bit. But like, he was like telling me,
you don't love me enough, you don't show me enough affection, you spend more time with your friends than you do with me.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'll try to give you more time, and I'll try to give my friends a bit less time then. Which was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that, because I ended up concerning a lot of my friends because of how much time I was giving him and how little time I was giving them. And they didn't realize like right away that I was like, the reason I hadn't been hanging out with them as much is because I was giving my boyfriend at the time more time. And so, at some point they started like asking me like,
Hey, like, where have you been all week? We haven't seen you at all.
and I like, look, I'm like, it's been a week since I've seen them. I think in my head, I'm like, yeah, it has been a week since I've like actually seen any of them. Like, I had been like stopping going into the gym some weeks too, just so like I could fit in time for my boyfriend. And I'm like, this isn't healthy. And this is when I started realizing things weren't going well at all. We're gonna be going in very small brush, very thin brush, and we're gonna be going in with red ochre. Or ochre, I don't know how to pronounce it, let's be real. We're gonna be going in with this red shade here, and we're gonna put that in the outer half of our crease here, and then we should be done with the crease. I promise. So now we're gonna point in the story when I start realizing things are going wrong. And I like start realizing he's like taking me away from my friends and stuff. Not only that, but he's just saying like rude things about my friends. I'm like, that's not right. And so this is when I start standing my ground a bit more with him. And I'm like, look, you can't say that stuff about my friends, because first off, you're not friends with them. You don't know them. You've never been around them. And like, I remember the first argument we got in, like the big argument. Like, we'd had like little arguments throughout this entire like period, but a big argument happened when he's like, we had been talking like a little bit before whatever the weekend. He's like,
hey, I'm not gonna be able to like do this weekend, like we're not gonna be able to like go out.
I think this is like after my camping trip with my friends, which I have a video on. If you guys want to go see that, I'm gonna link it down below. Go watch it. It's really funny. My friends are amazing. I love them so much. Yeah, now we're gonna be blending out this red shade. But like, I think it was after that, I'm pretty sure. And so like, I couldn't see him that weekend. He was like, "Lol, fine, whatever." But you could tell he was upset about that. And I had told him like before, like, that I wasn't gonna have any connection on this camping trip. And he was like, okay, cool, I just won't text you, whatever. And then I get back to my phone, I have like 50 messages from him. I'm like, what is this? And he's like,
oh, well, I just wanted to send you some messages or whatever because I really missed you.
I'm like, I literally told you I'm not gonna have connection, I'm not gonna be able to read these. And I got a little bit mad at that. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, he just cares about me, whatever. But, you know, so, like, we hadn't seen each other last weekend. We were planning on going out the next weekend. And he's like,
oh, I'm actually going to go out with my friends this weekend, so I can't do anything.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Like, you go do whatever you want to go do then. Like, I'm fine with that. And, like, I tried discussing different dates with him because he just said he was going to be doing stuff on Saturday. I'm like, what about Sunday? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, maybe we can, like, hang out sometime else then. Like, whatever. And so, instead of, like, you know, making plans with him, I decided to make plans with my friends, because my friends were like, we're gonna get flu shots at Publix. So I'm like, I'm gonna come along with you. And so, I made plans with them to go get flu shots. And then I remember, my boyfriend's like,
oh, hey, I actually really want to, like, hang out with you on Friday now.
I'm like, I literally just made plans with my friends to go get flu shots on Friday. I can't do that anymore, because I thought you had said that this weekend we weren't going to be doing anything. Plus, I already asked him before if he could do Friday, or if he could do, like, Sunday, and he's like, no, I can't do the entire weekend, even though, like, his plans were only on one day. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe, like, let me know next time that you do that, but I'm going out with my friends. And he got really mad about that. He's like,
I can't believe you prioritize your friends over me.
And I'm like, I'm not. It's literally just because you said that this weekend we couldn't do anything. And so I was making other plans with my friends. He's like,
you spend too much time with them. They're bad for you. They're not good friends.
And so that made me really upset. Obvious reasons being that he doesn't know them. But basically we ended off the fight like really bad. And I was just like, it was a bad fight. It was a really bad fight. So then he like texted me the next morning. He's like,
I feel so bad about our fight yesterday. Like, I'm so sorry about it.
And like, okay, like, I'm still mad at you. I'm gonna forgive you, obviously, because I believe that everybody deserves forgiveness. But I'm not going to see you still. So, you know, don't get mad at me for that. He's like,
no, that's fine. You can do whatever you want with your friends. I realized I was being unfair.
I'm like, okay, honey. And he's like,
I'll come, like, I want to come and see you and, like, apologize to you in person. Like, I'm going to come up, like, I'm going to come up Friday. I'm going to see you.
I'm like, I can't do that. So my plans are literally right after class. So that's not going to happen. And then he got mad at me for that. And I'm like, I told you I had plans on Friday. Don't plan to come see me on Friday. Plus, I already told him, like, that I didn't want to see him that weekend just because I was still mad at him for that. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the Supernova palette from BH Cosmetics. You're going to be going in with the shade Aurora. I love it. It's a little pinky, sparkly shade. And we're just going to go ahead and put this onto the middle of our lid. despite what I told him not to do, which was to not come and see me, he came and saw me anyways. He's like,
hey, so I'm here.
I'm like, what? I'm like, this is like after my Spanish class. And I'm like, why are you here? And he's like,
I just wanted to talk to you in person about it and apologize in person because I feel really bad.
I'm like, I literally told you that I don't want to see you above everything else. I do not want to see you right now. Like, if you're really, like, really wanting to apologize, just call me later tonight when I'm free and I'm not doing anything. He's like,
well, I'm here.
I'm like, fine. And so I let him into my building, I let him into my dorm. I'm like, what do you want to say? And he's like,
I just don't want you to be mad at me anymore.
I'm like, I'm gonna be mad, honey. You literally just like dissed all my friends. I'm gonna be mad at you. And like, you got mad at me for absolutely no reason. Like, I just forgave him there. I'm like, you know what, whatever. Like, I forgive you. Just don't let this happen again. And he's like, I won't. And he was like saying like,
oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm better about this. I'm not gonna pull you away from your friends, whatever.
But then everything just started all over again. Like, he just started doing the exact same things that he said he wasn't going to do. And I'm like, honey, we already discussed that you weren't gonna do this again. And so we got in a bunch of more little fights. And he kept pulling me away from my friends. And it was at that moment that I realized how unhealthy it was. And I started talking to one of my friends about it. And he's like, that doesn't sound healthy at all. Like, I want to see these messages that he's sending you. And so I know that, like, you know, when it comes to like personal relationships, you really shouldn't show your friends like that sort of thing, depending on how personal it is. But I was just in such like a bad headspace. And like, I didn't know what to do. And I didn't really have the confidence myself to like end things with him because of how bad things were getting. And so I showed my friend these texts, and he's like, these are not good. And then I also started talking to one of my other friends about it, and she's like, this isn't good. And they had like a come to Jesus talk with me about it, and they're like, look, this isn't healthy for you. This wouldn't be healthy for anybody. Like, if we had somebody that was treating us this way, we'd kick them out immediately. Like, this isn't healthy. This is like mental abuse, no joke. And I'm like, you're right about that. And I'd never seen it that way before until I said that. I'm like, they're not wrong. And so ultimately I ended up ending things with him after we got into our like second really big fight. And this time it was about apparently I hadn't been calling him enough, but I had been really busy with like homework and stuff that week. Like, I was trying to do like all my assignments and stuff like that because I'd been spending more time with them, which is why I almost failed one of my classes last semester, which isn't good. And so it was really bad. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to end things with him. I really didn't. And I tried hard to like make things work, but with the way he was treating me, it wasn't working at all. So now I'm actually going to be going in with Cypress Umber, which is this dark brown shade here, and I'm going to be putting this in the outer corner of our crease as well, just to like really make it defined. And so I ended things with him. I felt really bad about it. Like, I was so upset about it, and he was upset about it too. But like, it just comes to a point where it just becomes too much, you know, and you can't handle it anymore. And you can't be around people like that. It was bad. I didn't like it at all. I wish I didn't have to end things with him. I really do, because it was a good relationship up until that point. Like, I'm like, you know, it ended because it needed to end at that point. And I'm sure God has somebody better for me in the future. But I mean, then, like, after I ended things with him, I started realizing, you know, there was a lot of red flags, like, before I went out with him. And, like, he was, like, literally, like, the persona of, like, those, like, guys that are, like, nice guys or whatever. They're like,
I'm such a nice guy.
Like, that was literally him, and I realized that in the end. I'm like, he's one of those guys. So I was sort of glad I ended things with him. And hopefully one day I found somebody better. But yeah, no. Guys are trash. They treat you like trash most of the time. And so find somebody that doesn't treat you like trash. Okay, so to finish up this look, I'm gonna go in with some eyeliner, which I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner. I'm trying to think if there's any other bad guy stories. I just want this to look good. I'm so bad at this eyeliner pen right here, but it's fine. I'm learning. Also, if you want to do a wing, you can. I just don't feel like doing it today. Honestly, this is decent enough eyeliner. I'm not doing anything more. I'm gonna mess it up if I do anything more with this eyeliner. Okay, so next we're gonna be using mascara, which is the, it's like the Rocket Volume Express lash stuff from Maybelline. I use this stuff all the time. It's my favorite mascara. I've been using it since, like, 10th grade, so, you know, still glad they make this. So, if you're gonna be single on Valentine's Day, don't be sad. Go hang out with friends. What I did last year, because I didn't start dating my long-term boyfriend in a long-distance relationship until like 10 days after Valentine's Day had happened. And so what helps is if you just hang out with your friends. You know, we all went to IHOP when we had a singles night, and it was a lot of fun. I think we're going to be doing the same thing this year. So if I'm still single by Valentine's Day, which is like a 99% chance I will be, I'm going to be doing that. Y'all can find me at IHOP. You know, self-love is important, y'all. Self-care is important. Go buy like a bunch of face masks and use them. Maybe with your friends. Do your nails, if you can. Do your makeup. Look nice for yourself, not to impress anybody else. Because that's why I do makeup, is to impress myself at my skills. This is the only skill I have. Other than that, I'm just dumb. Yeah. You know me, Hannah the dumb blonde. That was cringy. I'm sorry. My entire personality is cringy. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, enjoy being single while you can, because sometimes dating sucks more than being single. I remember back in high school, just in middle school too, just being really desperate and being like,
I don't know why I don't have a boyfriend.
and I would like cry at night about it, and like now I look back and like I was so stupid. Honestly, dating is worse than being single sometimes. So also I didn't put on lipstick because my lips have been chapped for like the past week, and I just don't want to deal with that right now because it's just gonna look really bad. So yeah, no, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, whether you like the makeup look or you like the fact that I have such an awful experience with guys. I'm relatable. Also just really cringy. I'm really sorry about that. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more of this as well. Yeah, also go ahead and follow me on like socials, because I have Instagram and Twitter, and I think I post good things. I don't really know. So yeah, go follow me on those. I'll have them linked down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time when I'm bored and I need something better to do with my life than sitting and watching other people's YouTube videos. So yeah, bye.